Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Aeby, and I would like to share with you some information about sea creatures that have some unusual partnerships. So when two animals have, such as Nemo and his anemone, a partnership, we call this a symbiosis, and it's just any relationship between two different organisms. Now there are three different types of symbiosis. They can be a mutualism, where both parties benefit from this partnership, good for both ends. It can be a commensalism, where one party benefits, the other one doesn't really care whether you're there or not. Or it can be a parasitism, where as one party benefits, the other one is harmed, kind of like when a mosquito feeds off of you. Okay? So let's look at some examples of these different type of relationships we might see under the sea. So we'll start with Nemo. So what we see here is an anemone. Now the interesting thing about these anemone sea creatures is that these tentacles all have stinging cells in them. And if any other fish touches this, it will kill that fish, and then that anemone will eat the fish. But in this partnership, the clownfish has a thick mucus that protects it from the stinging, so that they can dive in and hide in these anemones away from their own predators, because these are very small fish, and there's lots of predators can eat them. So when danger comes around, these fish dash into their anemones. Now this would be an example of a commensalism, because the clownfish definitely benefits, but the anemone doesn't really care whether or not that clownfish is there. Let's take a look at this guy. So these are also anemones. They have stinging cells. If you touched them, it would hurt. And this is a crab that has grabbed an anemone in each of its claws. And so in this relationship, what the crab does is it uses these anemones like boxing gloves. So if a predator or a competitor comes by, it's like, I'm gonna sting you, I'm gonna sting you. And the anemone itself, they actually benefit too, because they get a free ride, and then any bits of food that crab in eating flows around, it can get that extra food. So this would be an example of a mutualism with both partners going, all right. Oh, this is a moray eel, you know. They eat or bite anything, yet here's this little shrimp on its mouth, seemingly completely with no fear. What is going on here? Well, this is a very special shrimp. It's called a cleaner shrimp, and you notice the very distinctive coloration, the long white antennas. And so in this partnership, what happens is this fish recognizes this as a special shrimp. He crawls under the moray eel or other fish, pick off the ectoparasites like the fleas and the ticks, and he eats those. So he gets food, and of course the fish, in this case a moray eel, well, he gets clean of the fleas. So this would be another example of a mutualism. They are both benefiting from this partnership. I wouldn't want to be close to that mouth if I were that small. This is a grouper that will eat just about anything and get its mouth on. But again, you see that this is a very distinctly colored, cleaner fish, so it signals the grouper, don't eat me, I am going to benefit you by pulling off those ectoparasites or fleas and ticks in the ocean. So this would be another mutualism. Okay, here's your fish again. Yeah.
That looks like a...
That is disgusting, isn't it? This is an isopod in this poor fish, and what this guy is doing is he's chewed a hole in the side of this fish's face, and he's sucking its blood. And it'll just hang on this fish until it's got a belly full of blood. It's food, and it'll just drop off and then digest its food, and when it's hungry again, it attaches to another fish. So as you can imagine, the fish does not like this. So this is an example of parasitism, or a parasitic relationship between the host fish and the isopods. So those are your three types of symbiotic relationships that we find under the sea. A mutualism, or parasitism, So any questions?
That's pretty awesome.